So um, it's not uncommon, I guess, when you go through some changes in life and you find yourself in a new environment, surrounded by new people. It's not uncommon that you may think, well, I can remake myself. I can become someone else. And retirement and moving from Virginia to Puerto Rico is certainly qualifies, I guess, as a fairly significant life change. But I'm 57 years old, and I'm not going to reinvent myself. It's a little late for that, and I'm pretty happy. I think how things are. However, it's you can I guess make changes around the edges. I guess when I was in Iraq in 2007, 2008, I'm surrounded by people who don't know me. They have no real history with me. And while I went to Iraq in the summer of '07 with a pretty full head of hair, that was about the time that it really kind of started to thin. And I'm, whatever, 42 years old, somewhere around there. That'd be about right, 41, 42. And you look in the mirror and you think, uh, this is not this is not going to get any better. Will likely get worse. I wonder what it would look like to lose the hair. And I seriously contemplated just shaving it off, cutting it off, shaving it off, because who cares? Who was I trying to impress, right? And and it's kind of foolish, but it really, I think, says a lot about me. I didn't do it because uh, under the terms of our contract, we served 12 months as a firefighter there, served 12 months, and we would get two 10-day breaks for R&R. And unfortunately, that included travel to and from, which significantly cut into the amount of R and Ring you could do. But um, so about 4 months in, I come home. About 8 months in, I come home, and as it turns out, uh, I'm getting haircuts while I'm on the base, and first R&R rolls around, and I'm shaggy, which is hard to believe. I get it, but I'm kind of shaggy before the R&R, and so I go and get my haircut, and then I come back and I think, well, I hate to waste a good haircut. And then by the time the next needed haircut rolls around, while I could have shaved my head, I thought, nah, it's because if it looks as bad as I imagine it'll look, I've only got about 6 weeks for it to grow back out. I don't know. So I never did it. That's the short of it. Um, but here in Puerto Rico, much like in Iraq, in my base in Iraq, there's really nobody that I need to impress other than Patty, and so I've decided to lose the mustache. And I imagine there are lots of folks who are watching this and who's thinking, "Oh my God! Oh no! 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 No!" So let me explain. First of all, the origins of this mustache, and then secondly, the reasons for losing it, apart from just changes at the edges, as it were. So the mustache is older than a lot of people watching this video. I'm pretty confident I can say that. When I was a young man, and when I was a teenager, I was tiny. I was small. Uh, for the longest time, I was in the running for the smallest guy in my high school class. And my high school class was 440. There were a lot of us. So I was I was small. I didn't break 5 feet or 100 pounds until I was a sophomore in high school. So a little guy. And I had a very boyish face. So I'm small to begin with a face that doesn't look as old as I am. So I'm a 16-year-old looking more like I'm a 12-year-old. And the other issue is when my voice changed, it never changed like that, right? It didn't get goofy and squeaky and all of the rest. It just dropped. And and so I scared a lot of sweet little old ladies. Usually when I meet them, I meet you know mothers of my friends or grandmothers of my friends or whatever, and they'd say, "This is my friend Warner. How are you doing, Mrs. Smith?" And there's this what looks like a 12-year-old boy doing his best James Earl Jones impersonation. It was pretty bad. So I get to college. So yay, now I'm 18, looking like I'm maybe 14. Not a good look, and not having a lot of luck with the ladies in the fall semester. So not really trying to impress anybody else, and since I'm not impressing the ones that I want to impress, the heck with it. So I figured, I wonder if I can grow a beard. Um, and the answer is no, or it was no. It was bad. I mean, yes, I grew facial hair. No, it was not a beard. It was it was hideous, to be perfectly honest. And so I don't know, February or March of my freshman year roll around, and I was prevailed upon to get rid of that nasty scruff, which is a good thing. And anyway, as I cut it off, I figured, well, the mustache seems to be okay. Let's leave that and see how that goes. And it's been there ever since. So arguably, I guess the mustache dates back to the fall of 1984. That would mean it's 39 years old. Been there for a long while. So why lose it? Um, First of all, the change in environment, circumstances, and population around me. Apart from Patty, I think the only person who recognizes me with a mustache is our mail carrier, Kano, who's a great guy, and I don't think he's not gonna he doesn't know, so not a big deal. He'll be a little surprised, and that's that. He won't be shocked. The other reason is that you actually become somewhat beholden to the mustache, and I don't really like that. Uh, you know, I couldn't shave it. On the faculty, nah, it's me, it's who I am. Can't really do it. If you like my colleague John Eastby, John has, I think, a very healthy attitude towards and relationship with his facial hair. He'll grow it or not. He'll grow the mustache, cut it off. Grow a beard, cut it off. He doesn't care. Um, and that's the way to do it. 39 years is a long time, and so I want to break that cycle. Another reason is that it is now the second day of October, which means in a month it will be November or Movember, if you understand what that is, and Mustache Vember, I guess. And I've either never celebrated that or always celebrated that, depending on your perspective. But hey, this will be the first time since Movember has become a thing that I can actually grow a mustache in that month. Patty also likes me with a beard. I don't blame her. Hide as much of this ugly mug as possible. But when I hate to call it hunting, because when I would go hunting with my youngest son Ryan, and I don't think it's really hunting because when you go hunting you you shoot things, right? And what we did was go sitting in the woods, but with guns. But when we'd go sitting in the woods, it'd get kind of cold, and so I would grow the beard out during hunting season, and it would get to that point where it was just bugging the heck out of me, and I'm about to shave it, and Patty would invariably say, "Oh, I love the beard. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's great." Rats. I got to hang on to it. And recently, she has said things like, and this is when I say recently, this is before we moved out here. She would say things like, "Oh, you look like a fishing boat captain, with the beard and all the rest." And I thought, boy, it gets a little warm down there in Puerto Rico. I grew it when I'm hunting to try and keep my face warm. I don't need to do that down there. But maybe November, December, January, I still won't need it to keep warm, but it won't be terrible. Anyway, when you're trying to grow something of a beard out, and especially if you're trying to keep it fairly close, the beard and the mustache don't really line up. They don't really make sense that way. So cutting it off, growing the beard in the winter months here in the Caribbean, and then cutting it off again is probably the way to go. The last reason to do it now is because in a couple of days, Patty and I are going to DTOP, is the acronym for the office here, the agency here. It's essentially the Division of Motor Vehicles for Puerto Rico. So I'm going to get my Puerto Rico driver's license. At least I hope so. That's the plan. Cross your fingers. And so that comes with a photo, and that will be my sort of official photo for Puerto Rico. And who knows what the future will bring? It may happen that I need to skedaddle for whatever reason. I need to get and go and change my appearance, and a mustache or a beard will be very different than that driver's license photo. So probably a good idea to cut it off before they take my official photo than the other way around. So that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I've got my mirror, got my razor, a little bit of water to dip that in, and here we go. There we are. uh, Quite different. We'll see it. That upper lip hasn't seen sunshine in nearly 40 years. So I got a couple of days to get a little bit of sun and try and not make the, well, it's a driver's license photo. Of course, it's going to look bad. There we go. All right. As always, comment, right? Never forget that I'd like to hear from you. I really do. Like the video if you want and all the other sort of stuff, but drop me a note, please do. And stay tuned. I think there are a couple of big stories, big events coming up in the very near future for us. So gee, I hate to say subscribe so that you won't miss it, so I won't say that. But but do stay tuned because there's some pretty significant changes coming up our way, and we should have those for you in the next few months. I apologize that the pace at which these things come out is irregular and even arguably infrequent. I cannot imagine trying to do this for a living. Thank God I don't have to. It was horrible when COVID struck and I had to make a video every day. Now, fortunately, that was just me sitting down and with my notes and lecturing on. Let's see, this was Latin American politics for the most part. So I went out in the greenhouse usually because it was nice and warm and quiet, and I can lecture there. For my research methods class, I had to sit in front of the computer and do that because I had to share the screen. And most of those were sort of one-off videos and didn't require a lot of the crazy stuff that you get, for example, in this video. But still, it's been it's a challenge, and it's entirely my fault. It's a lot of boneheaded mistakes that I make, and then I got to go back and fix them. So. But I will endeavor. I will try and make these a bit more entertaining, though I don't know I can top this one, and a bit more regular, a bit more frequent. So very soon is going to be the second part of the rooftop terrace fix. So we've pretty much got that done. There are little items here and there that I want to tinker with, but no big deal. But as I said, some other significant news that's developing for us. So be sure to stay tuned for those. See you then.